what do you think about reading a book a week? Is it something that's sustainable, or is it a waste if you're not applying it? Your thoughts, and your 45 seconds starts now.
No, a book a week, like you just do that so you can make some like BS Instagram posts and like I'm really smart. What's work? Like if you're really reading a good book, like it should take you like 90 days because you want to chew on it. You want to figure it out. You just don't want to blitz through it. So I try to go with 5 pages a day, or I read till like I have a mind bending idea, because like the best books I've read, it takes 90 days to get through, like Anti-Fragile, Black Swan, those type books. Like you got to chew on that if it's going to actually change your behavior.
Okay. All right. Jimmy he's
yeah, that's really
pressure.
It's an annoying topic to me, because like when I see it on Instagram, I'm like, it really annoys me. Like I read this many books this year. I'm so smart.
So, hey Jimmy.
Where did you find this guy, Leon?
Yes. We know you're new, but when that buzzer goes off, that means you're supposed to stop. Just giving you a heads up.
Look, Leon, I wake up to create value. If I'm still creating value at second 46, I'm going to keep going.
Listen, and I'm not going to stop him before
Thanks, bro.
Let's go over to Leon G. Barnes. What do you think about reading a book a week?
I know one person out of all the people that I've ever met in my life. I know one person that reads a book a week and that actually is smart enough to absorb it and utilize it in his coaching. He's a MAPS coach for KW. I think one of the smartest guys I've ever met in my life. But I can tell you that I've met no other people that can read a book a week and truly apply it at a high level. And to Jimmy's point, I think this is what people that don't read books tell you that they're doing. Just because you skimmed a book and you read the first 50 pages doesn't mean that you're reading a book a week. And that's honestly what I think when I hear someone saying that. It's a waste of time.
They also have a library in their house of all the books they haven't read, but if people come into their house, they think they're smart.
Jimmy, we're going to give you one time to interrupt. One time.
Yeah, if you could, in your 45 seconds, if you could say something more compelling so I wouldn't have to overstep.
Who is this guy? I like this guy. I like this.
Pandemonium on part of the description, and I love it. Jimmy, where you been, man? Where you been? All right, let's go over to Steve Trang. Steve, your thoughts on reading a book a week?
Oh, I like how Leon basically called reading a book a week like the standing in front of a green Lambo, right? It's just a different way of standing in front of a green Lambo, right? It's just a complete fake. So I personally think reading a book a week is not a good use of your time. I think it's not fruitful in helping your business. I think that you're better off reading the same book over and over again until you've mastered it. It's not a discipline that I maintain very well, just to be completely honest with you. But, I read 100 books at some point in my career. And then I went back to Think and Grow Rich again. I would have gotten more value reading Think and Grow Rich 5 or 10 times versus reading 100 different books, right? So I think what's really critical is not just reading the book, absorbing the book, and applying the book. And that is the part where a lot of people miss it, right? Reading just to read is just a different form of entertainment. You got to apply it. You got to absorb it and apply it.
Okay. And CJ, let's go over to you to bring it home.
Yeah, who made this question? Ty Lopez or something, man? Like, look, nobody's reading a book a week. Nobody's reading all these books. I believe in targeted reading, right? Like, if I'm trying to gain information, understanding on something, if I'm trying to learn how or why about something, I want to read a book specific to that. But reading a book a week, I mean, how do you have time to make any money? How do you have time to run your business? How do you have time to crack shit with Jimmy and make 2 Comma Club awards? I'm waiting for mine to get in here, Jimmy. Like, I mean, look, at the end of the day, nobody's reading a book a week unless they're selling you something and telling you this is what happens if you read a book a week. You get a Lambo and a 2 Comma Club award and whatever weird belt Cava's got on the wall in his office. How about that?
All right, the floor is open.
Well, I brought this up because, you see this, on Instagram. You see this on Facebook. You see people promoting, right, and reading a book a week. So I brought it up because I wanted to get some perspective from everyone else, because maybe someone was going to make a really good argument for it. I was hoping.
again, I've not seen anyone do it other than one person do it at a high level where they're actually smart enough to absorb and apply. And this is also someone that doesn't watch television, doesn't spend a lot of time on Insta Facebooks and all these other social media sites that I'm too old to understand. But they are very disciplined on learning and applying for their coaching business, and they don't have any other forms of entertainment, frankly.
And I think there's something I learned from Darren Hardy was like there's just in case learning and there's just in time learning, right? So Chris kind of said like targeted learning, right? That's just in time learning. Just in case learning does nothing for you, absolutely nothing.
Yeah, like I'm trying to read about things I need, things I need to implement, things I need to learn, things I need to understand. Just reading to read. It seems kind of strange. I don't know how you make money when you do stuff like that. I want to know how to do things specifically. I want to understand why are things working the way they are. Why is the question, if we're talking about the global economy, how does the global economy work? Does that matter to me? How does tax preparation work? But just, I don't know, man, picking up books to read. I don't know. Maybe Jimmy's going to the library and checking out books. But man, I'm not doing all of that. I'm going to get a book specifically for what I want to read about. I don't believe in audiobooks personally, but that's a different conversation. Read targetedly or target your reading, however you want to say it. That's how you learn. That's how you implement.
Yeah, if somebody's talking about how much they're reading, they're definitely a fart sniffer. They're definitely somebody who wants to appear. They're definitely somebody who wants to appear smart, but like is not getting anything done.
Yeah.
That's not saying people who don't get a lot of stuff done don't read a lot. It's just saying they're not going to talk about it.
Yeah,
I'll make one argument for reading outside of Target, CJ. I've talked about this in our community before. I spend some very special time with my boys reading books. So I read a lot of kids' books with them to have those moments with them, because a lot of times when the kids come home and you ask them what they learned at school, they tell you nothing. I don't know. I don't remember. A great way to build bonds with kids is reading. So outside, I'll make an argument for entertainment of bonding with your kids is a great way. Reading is a great way to do that. So I'm with you, CJ, on the Target side, but there's also that opportunity.
100%.
I would argue that's targeted, right? Because you're reading with intent. But also, if you want to read kids' books, Leon, you don't have to justify it.
Look. You called me out. Look, the kids' book right there, Percy Jackson. Book full. See that? Keep it with me at all times. Great way to interact and learn some Greek mythology at the same time.
Yeah, I never did my book reports, man. I just finished them the day of class before school started in the cafeteria, just winging it. I always got an A, man. So it worked out.
I'm not surprised.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, Leon. When you pulled the book up, I was actually impressed at how many pages that book had. Because when you said child's book, I was thinking we were about to see, redfish, bluefish.
Yeah, he's talking about a kid in college over there, man.
Hey, wait a second. Hey, as my boy Eric Brewer says, there's levels to this. Hey. Levels to kids' books as well. This is 10-year-old reading right here, my friend.
I think just to add to what Jim was talking about, right? If they're telling you this, they're telling you for a reason. It's kind of like the guy tells you he does CrossFit, right? Like it's just another way to brag. I let everyone know you do CrossFit. You gotta let everyone know you do vegan, right?
Yeah, it's like why are you doing CrossFit? You don't look like you work out. You're vegan, but you don't look like you're in shape. What's going on? You're reading books, but you don't know anything. Like what's happening?
Kind of like when you see guys like Steve Trang showing you videos of him working out with his trainer playing basketball in the morning to get better.
It's like, well, you don't have a jumper. What's going on?